Hi, welcome to the Armed Guardian podcast. Today, Crystal and I will be talking about summer preparedness. Are you being proactive in your planning to be prepared for travel and concealed carry? So, joining us today is just me and Crystal. David's not able to be with us, but we'll be doing some things with him a little bit later. He's had a few things on his plate, but looking forward to get back into the swing of things here. So, how are you doing today, Crystal?
I'm doing wonderful. I really can't believe it's already going to be summer. It's just right around the corner.
Yep.
And we just started this year off and it's already just flying past.
Yeah, the summer heat, I don't miss it from whenever I lived down in South Florida, and it's nice to have the summer and the sun, but the heat, they can keep it.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Well, I thought about whenever I was doing my business newsletter, I did a little small blog or section on summer preparedness, being prepared, and I thought it would be a good topic for the podcast today. And of course, I reached out to you, and you agreed, and just wanted to talk about some things that people may not be thinking about whenever they're preparing for their summer travel, vacations, having guests come in. Um, that's kind of what we wanted to discuss here, and get your thoughts and just kind of get the word out there for people to think, which is what I wanted the podcast to be about. So, um, what are some things that you can think of right off the top of your head that you see, or you maybe even yourself forget about whenever you're planning your vacation or your travel time away from home? What are some things that pop into your head that people might forget?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the home.
Right.
So a lot of times people are online posting about their trip to wherever they're going to be at, letting people know they're going to be away. You know, they're counting down 5 more days of my vacation, 3 more days. Today's the day. And now
Right.
you have people that know that your home is going to be another fire truck going by. Sorry about that. Yeah, so
Sorry.
that you're just announcing that you're going to be away from the home,
Right.
and that can be, a bad situation. You got a person wants to burglarize your home. Now you just gave them the open door to do so. So just
Hmm.
remember, if you are going away, not to announce it all over social media. And if you
Right.
have firearms at home, that's even a bigger problem if you don't have them safely secured. You
Hmm.
have a break-in, and you have your firearm sitting on the table or in a dresser, that can be an
Right.
issue.
Yeah.
But I do see that a lot. People are just announcing that they're going to be away from home, firearms being sitting on tables in different locations throughout the house, and we don't want those firearms out on the streets.
Right. Yeah, and there's something that people can think of that a lot of agencies or a lot of law enforcement agencies, communities do, is house checks for people that are on vacation. I know whenever I worked in Florida and even up here in Georgia in law enforcement, we would have people that would call and say, "Hey, I'm going on vacation from this time. Um, my house will be vacant. Can you have an officer ride by and check it whenever you're able to, and here's my emergency contacts. If something is wrong or they find something that doesn't look right, these are the people that can either contact me or get in contact with other family that are, didn't go on vacation with you or friends." And that's something that a lot of departments do free of service, and it's something that the officers do when they have time. Of course, being understanding that they are busy and there may be a day that they don't get by the house. But that's one option for people to consider if they're going on vacation. And then also staging timers for your lights in the home to come on and off during music to come on, TV to pop on, things like that for, to make it look like somebody's there. Have a friend or something if they've got a spare vehicle, pull it into the driveway periodically and uh, just move things around, make it look like somebody is there. Deterrence is the big thing.
Oh yeah, I agree. I talk about that in my classes as well. Staging your homes. The police departments are great. A lot of times they'll do that. They'll come out, like you said, absolutely free and do
Hmm.
a check. Neighbors too, if you have good neighbors that you can trust,
Right.
they're a good asset to have as well, to go and check and make sure everything's secure, keeping those timers on so the lights look like they're coming on and off. Another thing is, if you're getting mail, have the post office hold your mail so you don't have it piling up. If you just have a regular mailbox where somebody can go by and say, there's a lot of mail here,
Right.
there's probably nobody home. I mean, back in the day, that was newspapers on your front door. You say collect those newspapers, but I don't know that too many people have those deliveries anymore. It's all
Right.
online. But that's just another thing just that I recommend doing, is holding your mail.
Right. Yeah. So that's pretty much all that I can think of on the home front. If you're going to be gone for an extended time, you may want to plan to have somebody pay a neighborhood kid or something to mow your yard or something, so it looks upkept, that
Yeah.
someone doesn't see, oh, that grass hasn't been mowed in a week. Someone must not be home. So
Absolutely.
that's another thing. So preparing for travel. Let's talk about that for a moment. As you are preparing, we get caught up in trying to make sure we're packing everything that we're going to need, maybe confirming our reservations where we're going. A lot of times you may forget about, depending on how you're traveling too, is going to be a big thing. But let's say you're going on vacation in your vehicle and you're concealed carrier. What states are you going to be passing through, and what are their laws? Each state has different laws. Some states you may carry concealed with your reciprocity if you have a permit. If you're going constitutional, does that state recognize non-resident constitutional carry? Some things to think about. And a lot of people, that's one of the things they don't think about. They think, oh, we're going on vacation, I'm going to carry my gun, and they may get in trouble because magazine limits, ammo restrictions,
Yeah,
just
duty to inform.
right. Yep.
So
So,
definitely, yeah, you have to know the laws for each state that you're passing through. Very
hmm
important. And another, is keeping your firearm safely secured in your vehicle as well. So have a safe. So if you go to a location that you're not
hmm
allowed to carry that firearm,
right.
and you want to make sure that you have a safe for it in your
Yep.
vehicle.
hmm what are some ways that you check on the laws and the reciprocity? Do you have a specific app that you prefer, or a website that you prefer using to check on anything like that?
I sure do. I use the USCCA app, so I have that on my phone. It's so easy to use. You just punch in your state, and it will give you all the information that you need for the other states you're going to visit. So I recommend that app to everyone.
Yep, yep. That's one of the apps that I use, and even on the website for people that may not have a smartphone, I tell them, you can always go online on a regular laptop, desktop, and
Mhm.
pull up the same information. Um, check if you've got self-defense coverage. Maybe your provider, like Right to Bear, like I use, is you can call their attorney hotline or their hotline, and you can even ask questions. Hey, what's the laws here? I'm traveling. What do I need to consider as far as safe passage, carry laws? Do they have, what restrictions do I need to be aware of? And there'll be a team that will research and get back with you, uh, as you're a member of their Right to Bear. But just calling and checking, even calling directly to if you're going to, let's say, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and you're going to be staying there for a while, call the local law enforcement agency in the community that you're going to be staying at and say, hey, I'm going to be traveling on vacation, staying here for X number of days. What laws do I need to be concerned with in your jurisdiction? That's just being well informed is a big
Mhm.
thing. So, um, anything else you can think of on as far as the traveling by car and stuff like that?
Not that I, no, I don't think so.
Okay. But then we also, maybe we're not traveling by car, we're traveling by plane, boat, train, bus. Being familiar with especially airline TSA requirements. a lot of people I've been seeing, especially up in Atlanta at Hartsfield, there's been a number of people here recently that have gotten into trouble for carrying a firearm that should have been, checked in and secured and everything. Um, and then there's the recently over in I think it's the Turks, where the
The
people have
couple,
gotten because
yeah,
they've got ammo that they forgot about
yep,
in one of their bags. Just knowing those laws for overseas or foreign travel, and then for public travel, like with the TSA, knowing that you've got to have
right.
your ammunition separate from your firearm and it's got to be unloaded and secure locked and all that stuff. A lot of things that people just they put off, and that maybe they think about it, but it's not foremost in their mind to
Mhm.
check up on. So that's another big thing for them to look into as they're preparing to travel.
And then
Uh,
some, oh, sorry, but
Go ahead.
sometimes people forget they have a gun in their bag. They're like, oh, I forgot I had this gun in my bag. And, I just switched bags. I didn't even realize it was there. So double
Yep.
check your bags. Make sure there's nothing in there that's prohibited that can get you into a lot of trouble.
Right. And it can be hard, but especially for somebody that does do EDC or everyday carry, because it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a part of them and they don't think about it. They just second nature are carrying, but they forget that they have to declare or they can't carry in a certain location.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've had that happen to me once before. Went to a location that I couldn't carry inside, jumped out of the car, started to go in, and then realized that I couldn't take my firearm in there, so I had to go back to the car, secure it, and could have been in some legal trouble, but if I would have went inside, but just trying to remember and being carrying concealed, we have a lot of things running through our mind, situational awareness, laws, and day to day stuff that we have running through our mind that we don't always multitask as good as we should sometimes.
That's right.
Uh, so as we're traveling, we briefly talked about magazine limits and ammunition restrictions. Knowing that there's a lot of different states that have those restrictions, being
Mm-hmm.
aware of them. Um, First aid, tourniquet, chest seals. Not necessarily just for your everyday carry for gunshot wounds, but having a first aid kit in your vehicle, your backpack, or something for your travels for those minor cuts, scrapes, and bruises and stuff. What's your first aid kit look like? That I know you probably have several. You have your range one, I'm sure, because of your
Oh, yeah.
instruction. Do you have one that you keep in your vehicle for your travel whenever you travel?
I sure do. So I have in my vehicle, I always keep a tourniquet in my bag. So on my
Hmm.
person, I always have a tourniquet. Then I have a little small little first aid kit, band-aids and things of that nature. Medications too, when you're traveling, to make sure that you don't forget those medications, because it might be difficult for you to get them outside of your state. So make sure you have those medications that you need on
Right.
you. But yeah, just keep a little. You don't need something huge, but just get
Hmm.
something if you personally carry that's easy to pack, and just have it with you on vacation,
Right.
because you never know when something happens. Even if you're going out for a hike somewhere and then you fall and you scrape your knee, if you're on blood thinners, that could be a problem for you.
Hmm.
So just make sure you have them handy. And they're fairly cheap. If you don't have one, you can go online and grab one off Amazon just to have something on you.
Yeah. And actually, no, I know that there's several online places or stores that you can actually get some. They're not, no, top of the line, but no, they're good little travel kits
Mm-hmm.
that you can get, and no, those would suffice. The only thing you'd have, like you said, having a tourniquet, maybe having some gauze with quick clot or something
Right.
on it to stop the bleeding. But yeah, you can get a fairly cheap.
Yeah.
But it's something to consider that most of us don't consider.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when we travel and we go somewhere, some considerations that we need to look at hotels. Some hotels don't allow firearms. Some states enforce no firearm signs. Some don't. What are the hotel policies? And then also we're traveling, we're on vacation, theme parks. A lot of theme
Oh
parks
yeah.
don't allow firearms or even knives.
Nope.
I went to Universal last year with my two of my daughters and one of their boyfriends, and we went there, and I forgot that I had a pocket knife on me, and went up there, went through their scanner, beep, and what you got? And I'm thinking, oh, I took my firearm off, my pepper spray out. Then I felt in my pocket and had the pocket knife and had to go back to the car to put the pocket knife up because I didn't want to leave it in there, the bucket, and hope to get it back.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't ever leave anything like that either. I agree. Well, I like to
Yeah.
avoid those places anyway. I don't like the large crowd, but if I were to go, yeah, I wouldn't have those items on me.
Right. Yeah. So that's checking with those theme parks. That what are their policies? What do they allow? Don't
Mhm.
allow? You can make. I guess if you feel chancy enough, you can try, but more than likely they're gonna, you're gonna have to walk through the detectors, and
Mhm.
once you set that thing off, then they're gonna question a little bit more. So just something, prevent a lot of delay in your family fun. Um, and we talked a little bit about storage, but as you're traveling, of course, in your vehicle, in your motel, or if you're staying with family, carrying a small safe to store your handgun in, especially if you're going to another family member, or relatives, friends that has small children. You may want to have something that you can put your firearm in and keep there, but it's secure where their kids can't get to it. And um, what's your recommendation? I know you can get them real cheap at like Walmart,
Oh yeah.
for those, and that would be something great for something like that. If you put something in your vehicle for um, safe storage, you may want something a little bit better than the inexpensive one safes that you can get at Walmart. But they make a plethora of different sizes and different styles that you can get for vehicles. Actually, you can get some that are molded into matching headrest for your vehicle that you
Oh
can put
yeah.
a firearm in. I've seen consoles where you can put the safes in the consoles, and just amazing what they can do with those.
Right. I just have a little Hornady one that I have for my vehicle,
Hmm.
and it's pretty sturdy. I've tried it out. It works really well. I tuck it away where people can't see it. So, and it's very affordable. I mean, I don't care what you spend. If
Hmm.
something is better than nothing.
Right.
So if you don't have anything at all, and it's just sitting there. If you have something that's less expensive but a good quality, not something that's like a really poor quality, they can stick a paper clip in and pop it open, obviously. But
Hmm.
one of decent quality, it's going to be harder for them, and it's going to take more time for them to break in, and more than likely they're going to run off if somebody comes out and spooks them.
Right. Yep. So we've got travel. We've gotten to our destination. We've hopefully checked the laws and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What about financial considerations? I tell people, if you're traveling, have you a prepaid debit card, load what you need on it. That way, if that card gets stolen, or keep it separate from your regular wallet. That
Mm-hmm.
way, if something were to happen, not all your money is tied up into, well, now my vacation's ruined. I'm stuck
Yeah.
here. Don't have any money. Don't know if I can
Yep.
make it back home. Um, that's just one
Mm-hmm.
way, knowing what you're going to spend, or have yourself a limit and load that
Yeah.
daily or something, that will help you to keep from having all your finances drained. And
Yeah.
I even reckon, go ahead.
No, that's a great idea. But also, the bank sometimes will put a hold on your account, thinking that it's fraud. Because I've had
Right,
that's happened to me before, and the banks were closed, and I'm like, oh, I'm at the gas station, and I can't fill up, and the banks aren't answering, and I'm like, oh my goodness, the card was locked.
right, yeah. And I even recommend my students, whenever I teach, for their online purchases, even at home, but get you a prepaid debit card.
Oh yeah.
If you're going to buy something, use that. That way they don't have access to your regular bank or your regular credit card information and
Mhm.
wipe you out that way. I had a daughter that got wiped out here recently because of a scam situation, and it
Mhm.
can be very hurtful financially and put you in a real bind.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else on the financial aspect that you can think of? I know you can also call your bank and let them know that you're going traveling, going on vacation, because some, like you said, some they'll recognize, hey, this they're not here normally, and this may be a fraud situation. But if you call them and tell them, hey, I'm going to be in Ohio for a week during this time period, uh,
Yeah.
connecting with them, it can at least let them know what where you're going, and that purchases may be showing up in that area. And
Yeah.
don't be alarmed that no, it's most likely you, but there's still a chance that skimmers and stuff like that, people get access to your account. So
Yeah.
anything.
And yeah, so for people that carry cash, because I see that here, I'm in Fort Lauderdale Beach, so we get a lot of tourists in here, and they open up their wallet and they have a wad of cash.
Yep.
It's like, hide it. Put a few bucks in it, but don't open up your wallet with a wad of cash, because the wrong person might see that. Next thing you know, you're being robbed. And
Right.
I see that so many times. I've seen that so many times down here with the tourists. So
Mm,
keep your cash to a minimal. Just put it in a different spot. Don't keep it all in your wallet where somebody can see it and snatch it from you.
right. Okay. Yep. uh Another thing to consider that some people don't is have a backup plan with your travel companions. If you're going somewhere, plan a predestined, or no, every if you're going to split up, okay, every hour, send
Yeah,
me a
check
text
in.
or call me.
Right.
If there's an incident, where are we going to try to meet up at? And then also letting family know, if you're no, even if you don't split up and you go as a family group, and something
Mhm.
were to happen, uh, family and friends back home that know you're traveling, keep in touch with them, check in with them, say, hey, we're here today. Even give them a little bit of uh, what your journey or your itinerary was.
Mhm.
Hey, we went here, we went there, and then have a safe word. Where if they you were some unfortunately, if you were abducted or held hostage or something, they forced you to make a call, like
Right.
there has been, have some sort of safe word to where people say, if I say this word, there's a problem.
Absolutely.
And that's something to keep in touch. And then also, share your travel plans or your sites that you've seen and stuff with family and friends. So that would be something. And then going over situational awareness with your family. A lot of times you go on vacation, like you said, somebody will just not, they're pulling out their wallet to buy something, and they forget about checking their surroundings. Pull up to a ATM in the middle of the night, or go to the convenience store down from the
Yeah.
motel to grab something. They forget about situational awareness. It's a good reminder to talk to everybody in your travel group about the situational awareness, and then also to if you don't remember the topics or anything, there's a lot of things online that you can get to kind of fill in. Okay, let's think about this while we're traveling. When we're in a restaurant, let's do this. So, what are you got anything else on any of those or anything that we talked about?
There's some apps too, the location sharing that you can share with
Hmm.
your family if you want to turn that on, if you're in an area that will allow it. Those are
Right,
also really good. Maybe you get tied up and you forget you're out hiking or doing something, and you forget what time it is to check in on your hour, or whatever you set that time period to be.
right.
That way they can watch and monitor your steps. That's really important.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else that you can think of as far as summer preparedness? I figured this would be a little quick episode for us to do, and be like just a good reminder of some things for people to
Mhm.
think about.
Well, I know going into your hotel room, to make
Hmm.
sure that you have that door locked. There's even devices you can buy for travel that you can prop up on the doors and make it harder for somebody to enter.
Hmm.
So think about that, like, keeping those doors locked. They have that little thing that goes over normally, the top lock.
Right.
Make sure you have that engaged, and purchase something that actually makes it a little bit more secure.
Yeah. Well, they even have the little travel alarms that you can put on some of the
Right.
doors, that, the alarm will go off if the
Yeah.
door pops open. They, yeah, they got a lot of different things. A little plug, Saber
Yeah, I
product,
have
Saber Red
those.
has a
Yeah.
lot of good travel things, that,
Yep.
for pepper spray alarms, door alarms and stuff. Be a good thing to have. And if you have legal protection, make sure you're up to date, that you've got, the coverage that you may need to uh, go to these other states, because understand that there are some states that do not allow you to have self-defense insurance, like Washington,
Right.
Oregon, I think, and some others, New York. So
Hmm.
it's something that need to be aware of, that if you are going to carry, am I protected? And do I have the limits, or is the policy going to cover my bail bond, my uh, civil and criminal defense, things like that? And
Hmm.
a lot of good self-defense insurance and legal protection plans out there. I recommend Right to Bear, as we've talked, and I know
Yeah.
USCCA concealed carry has some. There's a lot of different plans out there. Just research, the plan. Make sure it's going to fit what you need. Um, yeah. Anything else you can think of, Crystal?
Not off the top of my head. So I think that the heat's getting to me out here. I'm being baked out here.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to try to go
Yeah.
ahead and round this up a little bit, because
Yeah.
you had to go outside. But
Hmm.
yeah, just if you go travel, enjoy yourself, but plan ahead. Stay situationally aware while you're on vacation, but don't forget your planning, your travel, your training, and while you're traveling, look up a firearms instructor to maybe take a small situational awareness, or some course. Keep your training up. Don't forget your training. Reach out to a local instructor, or eh, either in your area or the traveling area that you're traveling to, and see what they've got going on.
Hmm.
NRA, USCCA has websites where you can check on training in your area that that you may be at, and it's a good thing to just stay informed and keep your training going. So,
Definitely. And I have an ebook that I put together every year for summer for the travels. So
hmm
I think it's like $3.99 my little
okay,
ebook. But I do have that if anybody was interested. We can
okay,
share the link and they can order it. But it's a good one. It's geared more towards women, but it's something that can be, men can use it as
universally,
well. It's a lot of,
yeah,
yeah, it can be universal,
okay,
especially for the solo travelers out there. Be very careful going out on your own. The buddy system is always the best, but if you're going to go alone, be very careful.
right,
And
okay. All
mhm.
right, yeah. I'll just send me that link, and I'll put it in the show notes for your ebook there, and
Yeah,
we'll post that. Get this episode here probably in a couple weeks, probably about 2 weeks. I'll do this episode and
great.
put it up there, since it's don't want to wait until end of summer and post the summer
Yeah,
preparedness. So
yeah.
we'll get this one posted up fairly quickly. Uh, thank everybody for listening. If you haven't listen to any of our other podcasts, go back. We got some great guests. Got some guests that we're bringing on that are going to be and give us a lot of good information. And find us on all your podcast apps. Give us a review, share us, and pass it on to your friends.
Definitely. Thank you
All right.
guys.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good day.